take a minute to interrupt here as well. Thanks to Ashok sir. And what he has done, he has given us an opportunity to actually stand back and look at the work that we are doing and present it in a different way. So, when you once is that you get an opportunity to look at what you've been doing, and you also get somebody to tell you a second person and a third person's perspective. So what happens is, what you miss while you're at it. So what is happening now, we're in a transformational stage as an organization, and we're making sure that we don't miss. So that is the role that sir has been engaged in. We make sure that the perfection is like, she's been telling, the perfection is what we're aiming at, and God willing we'll be there. Thank you sir, it's on to you.
Thank you very much. Respected speakers, distinguished delegates, friends and my dear colleagues. Now after that gripping presentation from Shali sir, I'm wondering why the hell I'm standing here. Because I did a mistake. I should have placed myself a little above his session. Anyway, now that I have the slides, I don't have any guidelines or theory to tell you. The topic is the 360-degree approach to healthcare marketing using PR and media. Sorry. What I intend to showcase is give you a glimpse, just a glimpse of some of the things that Anvita has pulled off very successfully for our clients in the area of public relations and media intervention within the 360-degree spectrum of healthcare marketing. So these are, we have several success stories to tell, but I'm just giving you a very few examples on the PR and the media interventions. So, okay, so it's the same thing. I have taken the liberty to quote Philip Kotler again. I'm not a student of Kotler, but I am his student's student. Ashok sir has been a mentor for many of us sitting in this room. And so what Kotler has to say is sums up what PR basically is. It's actually what, if you getting into the hearts of people, and what people talk about you is all that matters, and that is what is going to make the difference. So that's again, that is said in a very theoretical way in this slide. So they say that charity begins at home. And in the case of people talking good about you, we believe that your immediate neighbor, whether you are a hospital, a practice or a doctor, what your immediate neighbor talks about you is of paramount importance. And that is what has to carry by word of mouth to the larger audience, and then on online referral marketing and all these things happen afterwards. So this is something that we do. And this is just again one of the examples that I'm showcasing here. For a large corporate hospital in Kerala, we undertook this neighborhood intervention very successfully, and positioning the hospital as the friendly neighborhood hospital in the locality. Now this is a mammoth effort. The marketing team split into several groups, visiting every household in the neighborhood. I think they covered about 2,000 to 3,000 houses over a period of 1.5 months. And this is mainly carrying brochures, meeting every house, going to every household, meeting people, distributing pamphlets and engaging them. And most often you get some hurls of abuses, because we find that the neighborhood invariably talks, a lot of people in the neighborhood talks very bad about the hospital. So however good you are, but then you are giving them a chance to vent their ire, and then in turn they forgive you. So and also there are people who praise you, for whom which gives you a lot of motivation. And then there is always neighborhood schemes that are designed back in the hospital on offer for the neighbors. So when they come back, if you're a neighbor, you don't stand in the queue. You have a neighborhood desk which caters to your need. You are made to feel special. And you have discounts in consultation, procedures, and lab tests and so on. So this has worked wonders in terms of increasing footfall in the hospital. This was a very successful exercise, though the effort was huge and it has to be continuous. You cannot just do it for 3-4 months and then stop. But the momentum has to be maintained and it has to continue, and really it makes a huge difference. Then another example, another strategy we employed was introduce the Know Your Doctor program, whereby on a holiday or Sunday, the neighbors flock to the hospital to meet with one of the doctors who is a specialist, and he talks about, he or she talks about the practice and engages with the community. So you ultimately have people coming to the hospital even for non-healthcare needs. And this is basically what matters. The bonding happens there. They feel it's our hospital or our clinic. And also they get to size up the doctor and they start talking about him. And this has also been very effective. This is another strategy we used, branding of Residents Association name boards within 5 or 10 kilometers of the hospital, which means that every housing colony has got name tags of the Residents Association numbers with the names of the owner, and the hospital brands it with its name. So ultimately, when you're walking through these through these colonies, you find these names. Basically, the hospital brands the entire neighborhood, and this has also been very, very effective. So, having said some examples of the effective PR strategies that we have employed for our clients, and regarding the restraint of time, I cannot go into more details of it, but definitely we are ready to discuss it further in a discussion outside the presentation. Now coming to the media part of it. The media intervention is basically PR at a larger scale. It is just not advertising. It is actually engaging or having people talk good about you, which means it is PR on a larger scale for a wider audience. So initially, all of you know, at least people of my generation would have seen these anonymous letters to the doctor in health magazines, whereby you ask questions to a virtual doctor, and then you have to wait for a week or the following month to get an answer. Now this is the modern version of that. Call-in television programs, whereby patients or people who want to know about the ailment can call in the doctor live and get answers in real time. This is something that we are very effectively doing for our clients, and we always make sure that we go in for the most viewed channels for this, because I think almost 80% of the channels have health programs, but then you have to be selective in choosing the one that has the widest reach. This is very effective, and the doctor's name, the phone number, and even the hospital's name is often displayed, and immediately after the program, the doctor starts getting calls. And this is very, very effective. Now, radio has made a comeback with FM, and it's been phenomenal. The reach has been really good, mainly because 99% of people who listen to FM radio are on the road. And fortunately or unfortunately, thanks to our traffic snarls, most of the people spend a lot of time on the road getting stranded. So this is where FM radio bites of doctors, and of course each of these talks or tips, there is a prelude of a 40-second ad that goes with it, and people really cherish this. And of course, there are different slots. You can opt for the 5-minute slot, 10-minute slot, 20-minute, or even just for a minute. Very effective. Now, another strategy is that, see, we have all these special days: World Cancer Day, World Cardiac Day. You have UNESCO and WHO have international days for all health related aspects. And then getting the doctor to write an article in a mainstream newspaper, not necessarily a health magazine. So this increases the level of acceptance of the doctor. It is not like a advertorial. It's not just in any other health magazine. It is in a mainstream newspaper. We have found that this has greatly helped the doctor-patient connect. Of course, this is profiling in health magazines is something that everybody does, but it definitely has a major impact when you do it in the proper way. It depends on the magazine you choose. It depends on the content that is generated for that. As Shaliza was saying, the way you do the stories is what pulls it off. So again, these are some very, very few examples of the media interventions that we are doing. Basically, what we are trying to do at Anvita is to innovate and strategize. Experience is very good. It is very, very essential. But unless this classical wisdom translates into practical implementation, it doesn't really make a difference. So this is where experience is something that we cherish, but we always innovate and strategize to suit the current situation. An example, we were running our doctor talk shows on a television that was top rated. And suddenly during this Sabrimala fiasco, the rating of that channel was overtaken by a BJP a channel that owes allegiance to BJP, and that channel became rated as #1. Immediately we switched over our doctor talk shows to that channel, and the viewership was tremendous. And we started getting results immediately. So this is the way. There is no one way of doing it. You cannot go on TV all the time. You cannot just do articles all the time. You have to improvise and strategize depending on the current situation. So this is where I say that healthcare marketing is a mix of journalism, psychology, and lawyering. It is an ever-changing landscape, and why Anvita is able to pull it off is because we stay light-footed. We are flexible to adapt and to accept the best, to go for the best and leverage any opportunity that we can to reach out and to connect the patient to the doctor. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. In case you have any questions, I'm here, or if you want to talk to us later also, we are available. Thank you very much.
First, on the right.